All India Radio presents Morning News. Good morning. I'm Sunil Verma and with me is VC Pramod. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate and lay foundation stone of projects worth over 3,650 crore rupees in Bilaspur, Himachal Pradesh this morning. Home Minister Amit Shah announces scheduled tribe status for Pahadi community in Jammu and Kashmir to address a rally in Baramulla this afternoon. At least 25 people killed in a road accident in Pauri Garhwal district of Uttarakhand. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to embark on a 7-day visit to New Zealand and Australia today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Conveys India's readiness to contribute to any peace efforts. Festival of Vijayadashmi being celebrated across the country today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to celebrate the Shehra with soldiers in Auli and Mana in Uttarakhand. Services continue to dominate medals tally at National Games with 39 golds. And in cricket, South Africa beat India by 49 runs in third and final T20 International in Indore. India clinched series 2-1. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate and lay the foundation stone of projects worth over 3,650 crore rupees at Bilaspur in Himachal Pradesh today. The Prime Minister will also dedicate AIIMS Bilaspur to the state, which has been built at a cost of over 1,470 crore rupees. Other than AIIMS, Mr. Modi will also inaugurate Hydro Engineering College at Bandla, Bilaspur. The Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stones of Medical Devices Park at Nalagarh and the 4-lane project from Pinjore to Nalagarh. Mr. Modi will participate in Kullu Dussehra starting today. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate and lay foundation stones of several development projects and will also address a public gathering at Luhnu ground in Bilaspur. Elaborate security arrangements have been made in view of Prime Minister's visit. The much-awaited AIIMS Bilaspur will also be dedicated to the state today, spread over 247 acres. This AIIMS hospital will have the state-of-the-art facilities. The hospital is equipped with 24 hours emergency, lethal diagnostic equipments, 18 modular operation theatre, 750 bed and also have a 30-bedded Ayush block. The hospital will admit 100 students for MBBS and 16 students for nursing courses every year. The inauguration of Government Hydro Engineering College in Bandla, where 507 students will take engineering education, will also prove to be a milestone, while on the other hand, to boost industrial development and tourism in the region, Prime Minister will lay the foundation stone of around 31-kilometer long project for 4-laning of the national highway from Pinjore to Nalagarh. Prime Minister will also lay the foundation stone of the Medical Device Park at Nalagarh to be built at a cost of about rupees 350 crore. The project will attract the 5,000 crore investment in Himachal. Sanjeev Sundaryal, AIR News, Bilaspur, Himachal Pradesh.
Union Home Minister Amit Shah has announced scheduled tribe status for the Pahadi community in Jammu and Kashmir. The announcement was made at a rally in Rajouri yesterday. Mr. Shah said Justice G.D. Sharma Commission has recommended reservation for Pahadis in the report submitted to the government. The Home Minister said reservation will be rolled out after completion of administrative formalities.
मोदी जी ने 5 अगस्त 2019 को एक महत्वपूर्ण फैसला दिया और धारा 370 और 35A उखाड़ कर फेंक। सब लोग विरोध करते थे। मुझे एक बात बताओ, ये धारा 370 35A न जाती तो ट्राइबल रिजर्वेशन मिलता क्या? ये आयोग जो बनाया हमारे एलजी साहब ने, धारा 370 को हटाने से यहाँ पिछड़ों को, दलितों को, आदिवासियों को और पहाड़ियों को अपना अधिकार मिलने वाला है.
On the third day of his visit to Jammu and Kashmir, Mr. Shah will address a rally at Baramulla today. Our correspondent has filed this report.
Home Minister Mr. Amit Shah arrived in Srinagar last evening as part of his 3-day tour to the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir. Today, Mr. Amit Shah is scheduled to chair a high-level security review meet at Raj Bhavan in Srinagar at 10 in the morning. Thereafter, he will address a public rally, which shall be followed by paying his obeisance at Gurdwara Chheti Padshahi in North Kashmir's Baramulla town. After returning to Srinagar from Baramulla, the Union Minister will inaugurate and lay foundations to one of various developmental works of Kashmir division. Meanwhile, security arrangements have been tightened in the Kashmir Valley. This is Sunil Kohl, AR News from Srinagar.
Indian Air Force Chief, Air Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhary has said that the recent developments at the global stage indicate the need for a strong military to ward off any challenges. Addressing media in New Delhi about Air Force Day to be celebrated on the 8th of this month, he said IAF is innovating to stay ahead of the curve as the battlefield of tomorrow transforms and becomes more technology-driven.
We are looking at around 10% initially, and we have issues with respect to the number of specific trades, and within the trades, these streams that these people can be used in. So we are just trying to focus on which are the fleets where we can utilize them best, where we have presently the wherewithal in terms of the infrastructure, in terms of lesser requirement to move them continuously. So we will make a beginning there, and we will grow as time comes.
The Air Chief Marshal said disengagement has taken place in areas along the LAC, and the Indian Air Force is keeping an eye on Chinese Air Force activities.
In Morning Matters, now let's listen to a discussion on Atmanirbhar Bharat in defence sector. The participants are Air Vice Marshal Retired Manmohan Bahadur and Ajay Banerjee, journalist.
We are discussing the light combat aircraft Prachada, which was inducted into the Indian Air Force Jodhpur. The LCH, as it is called, was made totally with indigenous help and indigenous work at the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. How important is this, AVM Bahadur sir, keeping in mind that the project to start off or having such a helicopter which can operate in the high altitude of Himalayas started after the Kargil War?
It's a very good step that has happened with the induction of the light combat helicopter, whose genesis is the Kargil War. During the Kargil War, we realized that we do not have a helicopter that can deliver armament at altitudes above 15,000 feet safely. We lost Mi-17 helicopter and unfortunately 4 crew with that, and the helicopters had to be withdrawn up. So the LCH was born from the Kargil War. The HAL was brought in, and it is a combined effort, certainly most of it in HAL, where this LCH was born from the advanced light helicopter, the Dhruv. The Dhruv's transmission system, that is, its rotors, its engines, its gearbox, they are the same in the light combat helicopter. So we had an advantage. We had something to fall back upon, and the LCH was designed around it with a 2-man crew only. Whereas Dhruv is basically a cargo carrying it. So the LCH Prachanda has got a 2-man crew, pilot, and a weapon system operator, and it's a dedicated attack group. It's good that we've got it in our fleet.
Yeah, when you mentioned about its transmission, I'll bring you to the engine, sir. A special engine called the Shakti Engine was developed in a joint venture between HAL and Safran. The engine can fly to 21,500 feet. Sir, could you explain to our listeners, why do attack helicopters don't fly beyond a certain level? Because as we learn from available international literature, that the Boeing Apache also, which is part of the IAF fleet, does not fly beyond 20,000 feet.
Any flying machine is designed around something what are called the air staff requirements, the operational requirements. We do not foresee enemy positions or enemy to be attacked above 20,000 feet because they don't have posts and we don't have hills where all these things will be there. So, because if you greatly expand the requirement of the envelope that the aircraft is to fly in, then there are other issues that come up. So you require more powerful engines, you require bigger and more powerful rotors. That increases the weight of the helicopter for nothing because you will never use it at those altitudes. So 20,000 feet is the ceiling. So the Apache may be flying till 20,000 feet, but it cannot deliver armament at those altitudes. The LCH can, and enough trials have been done with the light combat helicopter. So that's where the altitude part comes in. Similarly, the speed, the turning radius, the maneuverability, all that is designed as per the operational requirement.
Sir, the LCH has also heralded or rather signaled the importance of Atmanirbharta or self-reliance, which the Prime Minister Modi often refers to. The advent of this helicopter and other equipment like the Tejas and the Tejas Mark 1A, the development of the Tejas Mark 2, the advanced medium combat aircraft for the Indian Air Force, and of course the big ticket of the INS Vikrant, which was commissioned last month. How do you see the Atmanirbharta going forward, sir?
The self-reliance or indigenization and modernization. These are two aspects which have a totally different timeline. Any armed force wants to be modern as on date because the adversary is also doing the same thing. He is modernizing. On the other hand, indigenization, basically creating research and development environment and a manufacturing ecosystem takes decades. So modernization, I want it today. The indigenization will take decades. So it has to be well matched and it is spread over various terms of government, various terms of the chiefs, the air, naval and army chiefs, and several political dispensations. So it is very important that since Atmanirbharta in the military sector or in the national security sector concerns national security of the nation, there is continuity in the thought process. There is a political continuum in this effort to attain the self-sufficiency in military hardware. So it's so very important that we continue the way we are going within the country.
Right, so you have put it in a very good perspective that the exports are growing and we need to be focused on what we need to make on our own and be clear that where we are headed, the exports now targets are to make it around 3,000 crore rupees, and that is one of the positive signs. The helicopters like the LCH give confidence to the domestic and the private industry that we can do it better. Thank you for speaking to us.
Thank you, Ajay.
You are listening to a discussion on Atmanirbhar Bharat in defense sector. In Uttarakhand, 25 people were killed in a road accident in Pauri Garhwal district last night. The accident took place near Simdi village in Birokhal area of Dhumakot when a bus carrying a wedding party of 45 to 50 people fell into a gorge. Police and SDRF rescued 21 people overnight. The injured have been admitted to nearby hospitals. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will be on a week-long visit to New Zealand and Australia from today. This will be Dr. Jaishankar's first visit to New Zealand. Tomorrow in Auckland, he will participate in an event along with New Zealand Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern to felicitate members of the Indian community for their exceptional achievements and contributions. Both leaders will release India at 75 postage stamps to commemorate and showcase Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in New Zealand. Dr. Jaishankar will launch the book Modi at 20, Dreams Meet Delivery, a book showcasing Prime Minister Narendra Modi's special bond with the Sikh community. Heartfelt, The Legacy of Faith will also be released. In the second leg of his tour in Australia, the External Affairs Minister will visit Canberra and Sydney.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi had a telephonic conversation with President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky. Both the leaders discussed the ongoing conflict in Ukraine. Mr. Modi reiterated his call for an early cessation of hostilities and the need to pursue the path of dialogue and diplomacy. He expressed his firm conviction that there can be no military solution to the conflict and conveyed India's readiness to contribute to any peace efforts. The Prime Minister also reiterated the importance of respecting the UN Charter, international law and the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all states.
U.S. President Joe Biden has announced plans to provide an additional $625 million in military aid to Ukraine. According to a White House statement, U.S. President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and pledged to continue supporting Ukraine. Biden also provided details on the latest package, which includes high mobility artillery rocket systems or HIMARS, artillery systems ammunition and armored vehicles.
India has called for an urgent end to the political deadlock in Iraq and urged parties to hold a peaceful dialogue for meeting people's aspirations and hopes to secure a safe and prosperous future for them. Ambassador R. Ravindra, Deputy Permanent Representative of India to the UN, at a Security Council meeting on the situation concerning Iraq, said that it has been nearly a year that the people of Iraq do not have an elected government. He noted that the continuing political impasse impacts the people of Iraq directly, who have already endured immense challenges in the last 2 decades, from terrorism to economic hardships.
You are listening to the morning news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate and lay foundation stone of projects worth over 3,650 crore rupees in Bilaspur, Himachal Pradesh this morning. Home Minister Amit Shah announces scheduled tribe status for Pahadi community in Jammu and Kashmir to address a rally in Baramulla this afternoon. At least 25 people killed in a road accident at Pauri Gadwal district of Uttarakhand. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to embark on a 7-day visit to New Zealand and Australia today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, conveys India's readiness to contribute to any peace efforts. Festival of Vijayadashmi being celebrated across the country today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to celebrate Dashehra with soldiers at Auli and Mana in Uttarakhand. Services continue to dominate medal tally at national games with 39 goals. And in cricket, South Africa beat India by 49 runs in third and final T20 International in Indore. India clinch series 2-1. For quick news updates on the clock, follow us on Twitter at AIR News Alerts.
न्यू इंडिया समाचार, नए भारत का संकल्प, सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास और सबका प्रयास। समाज में गरीब और कमजोर तबकों के लिए सरकार की चल रही कल्याणकारी योजनाओं और कार्यक्रमों से जुड़ी जानकारी पाएं। सरकार के इन कदमों के बारे में जानें और लाभ उठाएं। आकाशवाणी पर अब सुनिए जन कल्याण के सरोकार दोपहर 3 बजे से हर शनिवार। सुनिए न्यू इंडिया समाचार आकाशवाणी के साथ।
अपने बिजनेस को बढ़ाने के लिए लीजिए आकाशवाणी का सहयोग और दीजिए उसे बुलंदियों के पंख।
आपका बिजनेस लोकल है या राष्ट्रीय, आकाशवाणी देती है उपभोक्ताओं तक पहुंचने का हर विकल्प।
और अब तो आप घर, दफ्तर या दुकान पर बैठे बैठे कर सकते हैं आकाशवाणी के किसी भी केंद्र के लिए विज्ञापनों की बुकिंग।
आकाशवाणी के विभिन्न चैनलों पर विज्ञापन देना सुलभ और सस्ता।
बुकिंग है तो संपर्क करें 8700014242 पर।
8700014242।
The festival of Vijayadashmi, or Dashehra, is being celebrated across the country today. The festival is celebrated to remember Lord Ram's victory over Ravan, marking the triumph of good over evil. The day also marks the culmination of Navaratri and Durga Puja. President Draupadi Murmu and Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar have greeted people on the eve of Dashehra. In her message, Ms. Murmu said, the festival of Vijayadashmi is celebrated all over India as a symbol of victory of good over evil, truth over untruth, morality over immorality. She hoped that this festival continues to inspire people to imbibe the eternal life values of ethics, truth and goodness, and to live a life of peace and harmony. Extending heartiest greetings and good wishes to all people, the Vice President said in a message that Dashehra not only symbolizes the victory of good over evil, but reinforces people's faith in dharma or righteousness. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh will celebrate Vijayadashmi with soldiers in Auli and Mana in Uttarakhand. He will also perform Shastra Puja in Chamoli. Meanwhile, the Rashtriya Swayam Sevak Sangh's annual Vijayadashmi festival began this morning at Reshimbagh ground in Nagpur, Maharashtra. Noted mountaineer Santosh Yadav is the chief guest on the occasion. She has the distinction of being the first woman to climb Mount Everest twice. RSS Chief Mohan Bhagwat will deliver his keynote address at the Vijayadashmi festival. The 10-day Mysuru Dasara festival will conclude today on Vijayadashmi Day with a grand jumbo savari procession. More from our correspondent.
Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai will offer puja to Nandi Dwaja, the divine pole, in the afternoon. 21 cannon shots will be fired. The procession, led by police band, cultural troops, folk artists and singers, tableau, decorated camels, horses and caparisoned elephants, starts from the palace when the Chief Minister will offer prayers and shower petals on Goddess Chamundeshwari idol. In the evening, the idol of Goddess is kept in a golden howdah weighing over 750 kgs on top of elephant Abhimanyu. The Mysore kings used to sit in the howdah earlier. When the procession culminates in Banni Mandap, puja is offered to the Banni tree, after which torchlight parade, fireworks and laser show will give the grand farewell to Vijayadashmi festival in Mysuru tonight. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
Kerala is in a festive mood as Vijayadashmi is being celebrated today. We have more from our correspondent.
Keralites across the globe celebrate Vijayadashami as the Vidyarambam Day, the auspicious day for beginning learning in any field. Thousands of children are being initiated into the world of knowledge today as part of the tradition of Vidyarambam in major temples, social and religious institutions. They are made to write the letters on plates of rice or sand by elders or prominent people. Kids are also initiated into various art forms today, the auspicious day of Goddess Saraswati. Heavy rush is being witnessed from early morning in major temples like Panachikada Dakshina Mugambika Temple and institutions like Tunchan Paramba. Payusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
During the festive season till Chhath Puja this year, Indian Railways is running a total of 2,269 trips of 179 special trains in pairs. Special trains have been planned to connect major destinations across the country on railway routes like Delhi-Patna, Delhi-Bhagalpur, Delhi-Muzaffarpur and Delhi-Saharsa. The Railway Ministry said in a statement that crowd controlling measures are being ensured. Additional RPF personnel have been deployed at major stations to ensure security of passengers.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 4 terrorists have been killed in 2 separate encounters with security forces in Shopian district. A Lashkar-e-Taiba terrorist was killed at Molu village of Shopian, while 3 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists were killed in an overnight operation in Drach area of the district. The operation in Molu village was underway when reports last came in. The centre has designated 10 members of Hizbul Mujahideen, Lashkar-e-Taiba and other banned outfits as terrorists under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act UAPA for their role in terror activities. Union Home Ministry has issued notifications designating them as terrorists who are currently staying in Pakistan. Over the past 75 years since independence, India's largest public service broadcaster, All India Radio, has been the proverbial storyteller for crores of people across the country. All India Radio is celebrating 75 years of freedom with the series Azad Bharat Ki Baat, Akashwani Ke Saath. It showcases the journey of India since independence in various walks of life through the storytelling of All India Radio. In today's episode, we bring you the story of cinema, journey of films in India.
Cinema, the art of the 20th century, came to India within few years of its invention. Father of Indian cinema, Dada Saheb Phalke, released the first ever full-length feature film, Raja Harishchandra, in 1913. The rest is history. The first ever talkie, Alamara, was made by Ardeshir Irani in 1931.
गर देने की दे दे कुछ चाहे अगर तो मांग ले मुझसे चाहे अगर तो मांग ले मुझसे हिम्मत है गर लेने की ले ले.
Indian masala film, a term used for mixed genre films that combine song, dance, romance, arose following World War II. During the 1940s, South India accounted for nearly half of India's cinema halls, and cinema came to be viewed as an instrument of cultural. Real growth of Indian cinema began after independence. Government established Films Division by 1948, which eventually became one of the world's largest documentary film producers, with an annual production of over 200 short documentaries, each released in 18 languages, with 9,000 prints for permanent film theatres across the country. India became the largest producer of feature films in the world. By 2019, the country had 6,327 single screens and 3,200 multiplex screens. Indian cinema is composed of various language film industries. In 2021, Hindi produced 495 films, followed by Kannada 336, Telugu 281, Tamil 254, Malayalam 219, Bengali 193, Marathi 164, Bhojpuri 101, Gujarati 80, Punjabi 63, Odia 42 and Assamese 34. Apart from these, 28 films were made in English, 16 in Tulu, 15 in Manipuri and 11 in Nagamese. In tomorrow's episode, we will tell the story of Hindi film industry, also known as Bollywood.
Women and Child Development Minister Smriti Irani has said that India has registered decline in female infant mortality rate. In a tweet, Ms. Irani said that efforts made towards Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao through an integrated approach encompassing advocacy, healthcare and education is breaking the gender bias and resulting in improved numbers all across the parameters. Infant mortality rate is the number of infant deaths for every 1,000 live births.
At the 36th National Games, services continue to dominate medals tally with 86 medals, including 39 golds, 24 silvers and 23 bronze, followed by Haryana with 65 medals, including 24 gold, 22 silver and 19 bronze. Maharashtra is now in third place with 20 gold medals, 17 silver and 35 bronze. Uttar Pradesh is now in fourth place with 18 gold medals, 13 silver and 9 bronze medals. Indian sprinter Jyoti Iraji from Andhra Pradesh made history in the women's 100-meter hurdles as she became the first Indian woman to run a sub-13-second time to win the gold medal yesterday. In archery, Gujarat's Amita Rathwa bagged the individual silver and contributed to the team's bronze-winning show in the Indian round competition. National Games 2022 is currently being held across 6 cities in Gujarat and will conclude on the 12th of this month. In cricket, South Africa defeated India by 49 runs in a high-scoring game in the third and final T20 International at the Holkar Cricket Stadium in Indore. India clinched the 3-match series T20I series to 1, chasing a mammoth 228-run target. India were all out for 178 runs in 18.3 overs. Dinesh Karthik with 46 was the top scorer for hosts, while Deepak Chahar made a quick 31 for visitors. Dwayne Pretorius scabbed 3 wickets, while Wayne Parnell, Langi Nuidi and Keshav Maharaj took 2 wickets each.
And now an overview of today's newspapers. Prime Minister Modi has stated to Ukrainian President Zelensky in a telephonic conversation that there can be no military solution to the conflict and India is ready to help, reports the Indian Express. The Election Commission has proposed an affidavit to be filed by parties as part of a model code of conduct mentioning fiscal impact of their poll promises, writes the Hindustan Times. Indian Air Force Chief Marshal V.R. Chaudhry has asserted that India needs 42 squadrons to uphold status quo, pointing to Pakistan Air Force increased number of jets, reports the Asian Age. Indian equities staged strong comeback post-Wall Street rally, writes the Economic Times. At least 10 mountaineers were killed in an avalanche yesterday in Uttarakhand, amongst them some trainee mountaineers, reports the Tribune. In Delhi, vehicle owners not having pollution under control certificates may face suspension of their registration certificate, writes the Pioneer. And finally, the Times of India quotes experts as saying that a combination of genes, stress and lifestyle is leading to younger Indians falling prey to heart attacks.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to inaugurate and lay foundation stone of projects worth over 3,650 crore rupees in Bilaspur, Himachal Pradesh this morning. Home Minister Amit Shah announces scheduled tribe status for Pahadi community in Jammu and Kashmir to address a rally in Baramulla this afternoon. At least 25 people killed in a road accident in Pauri Garhwal district of Uttarakhand. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar to embark on a 7-day visit to New Zealand and Australia today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi talks to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, conveys India's readiness to contribute to any peace efforts. Festival of Vijayadashmi being celebrated across the country today. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh to celebrate the Shehra with soldiers in Auli and Mana in Uttarakhand. Services continue to dominate medals tally at National Games with 39 golds. And in cricket, South Africa beat India by 49 runs in third and final T20 International in Indore. India clinch series 2-1. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.